Hello everyone. Today we will study pharmacognostic profile of some carbohydrate drugs like agar, acacia, tragacanth and honey. First drug of this category is agar, which is commonly known as the Japanese isinglass. Biologically, it is the dried gelatinous substances which can be obtained from the various species of Jaladium and Pterocladia. For example, Jaladium amense, Jaladium cartilaginum, Jaladium pristoides, Jaladium conferoides, and for the examples of Pterocladia species like Pterocladia lucid, Pterocladia capillaceae belonging to family Jaladiaceae and Rhodophyceae. So we can say that this agar is obtained from the red algae. Geographically, it is cultivated in Japan, Korea, South Africa, USA, China, Indonesia, Australia and in India. If we talk about the collection and preparations, it is obtained from the red algae which is grown in the sea with the support of some bamboo poles. Surrounding of these bamboo poles, the red algae grow. So when these algae is fully grown, the bamboos are removed from the sea and algae are separated followed by the drying, beating, shaking and to remove the soil and sand. So now these algae are bleached by exposing to the sunlight or by washing with the water. Due to washing with waters, the other impurities and associated salts can be easily removed. Then these algae are boiled with the acidulated water. Now what is this acidulated water? The solution which consists 1 part of algae and 55 to 66 part of water is known as the acidulated water. So the algae are boiled with this acidulated water for few hours, followed by the filtration during hot conditions and cooling. Because of this, the mucilaginous type of impurities are removed and there will be the formations of the jelly which are cut into the bars. Now these bars are forced through the wire netting and strips are formed. Now these strips are dried under the sunlight followed by the freezing and thawing to remove the moisture. Finally agar is dried at 35 degrees Celsius. So if we say what is the time to collect the algae, so time duration is May to October we can collect the algae, and this practice is common in Japan and it is manufactured in the winters. So we can say either in December or January we can prepare agar from this algae. Now the macroscopical characters, it's occur in the form of strips and flattened bands. Color is colorless, translucent, grayish yellow. Size is 30 to 50 cm in length and 4 mm wide. Surface is micaceous coil type. Odor is odorless. Taste is mucilaginous. If we talk about the chemical constituent, it consists carbohydrate, polysaccharide type, out of which agarose and agaropectin is the major active constituent. The concentrations of agarose may be 70%, which is chemically neutral galactose polymers, and it does not consist the sulfate, and it is responsible for the gelatinizing properties of the agar. It is also known as the agarobiose, which is a disaccharide consisting alternate residues of 1,4-alpha linked 1,3-beta-D galactose and 3,6-anhydro L-galactose. So we can say that agarose contain two residues, that is 1,3-beta-D galactose and 3,6-anhydro L-galactose. So these residues are alternately joined by the glycosidic linkage 1,4-alpha glycosidic linkage. Another component is the agaropectin, which is acidic sulfonant where 1,3 linked D-galactose and galactouronic acid, which is also known as the uronic acid. So this D-galactose and galactouronic acid partially esterified with the sulfuric acid, and this agaropactine consists more than 90% of the sulfur, and in addition to the sulfur it may also get linked to the calcium, magnesium, potassium or sodium. So we can say about the chemical constituent of agar that it consists the polysaccharide, in which agarose and agaropactine is the major active constituent. Agaropactine consists the sulfur, whereas agarose does not consist the sulfur, and agarose is responsible for the gelatinizing properties of the agar. Now chemical test, solubility test is in which we will take the powder of the agar and we will treat with the cold water, due to which it will swell. On the other hand, if we boil it with the water followed by the cooling, so there will be the formations of the gel. The formation of gel is because of the presence of the agarose, and this test can be used to differentiate agar from the acacia and gelatin. Another test is to find out the presence of the mucilage. So we will treat the drug sample with the ruthenium red, and the presence of the pink color will indicate the presence of the mucilage. Another test is for the sugar. It consists the reducing sugar. So to find out the presence of this sugar, we will take the equal volume of dilute hydrochloric acid and aqueous solution of agar, and we will heat this solution on water bath for about 30 minutes. After completion of 30 minutes, to this solution we will add 3 ml of 10% caustic soda solution and 2 ml of Fehling solution, and we will again heat on a water bath, due to which there will be the reaction of reduction and there will be the formation of red precipitate of cuprous oxide, which will indicate the presence of the reducing sugar. Another test is sulfate test, in which the drug sample is treated with the solution of barium chloride, and it will form the white precipitate of barium sulfate, and this test can be used to differentiate agar from the acacia and tragacanth. Then another test is on warming a small quantity of agar in potassium hydroxide solution, a candy yellow color is obtained. Then in another test, if we treat with the N/20 iodine solution, a deep crimson color is obtained, and this test is used to differentiate agar from the acacia and tragacanth. In another test, we will take 0.2% solution of agar, which will not give any precipitations with the tannic acid, and this test can be used to differentiate this drug from the gelatin. In case of gelatin, there will be formations of precipitation, but in agar there is no precipitations. And last test, agar is incinerated to ash, and to this ash we will add dilute hydrochloric acid and see under the microscopes there will be the skeleton and spongy spicules of dye atoms will be observed. Now the usage of agar, it is used as a bulk laxative and chronic constipations, in the preparations of vaginal capsules and suppositories, to prepare the nutrient media in bacteriological culture, in industrial applications like emulsion, sizing, silk textile, adhesive and thickening of ice creams. Another drug of this category is the acacia, which is also known as the gum acacia or gum arabic or acacia. If we talk about the biological source, Indian gum is the dried gummy exudations which is obtained from the stem and branches of Acacia arabica or Acacia senegal, belonging to family Leguminosae. Geographically, we can say 85% of world supply is from the Sudan. So Sudan is the major cultivator of this drug. Other than Sudan, India, Arabia, Sri Lanka, Morocco is also other countries where acacia is cultivated, but Sudan is the major exporter of this drug. Then macroscopic characters about the colors, it's occur in the form of tears, which are usually white, pale yellow, and sometimes creamish brown to red color. And if we talk about the powder may be off-white, pale yellow, or light brown in appearance. Odor is odorless, taste is bland, mucilaginous, shape and size. Tears are mostly spherical or ovoid in shape, having the diameter of about 2.5 to 3 centimeter. Now the appearance, these tears are invariably opaque either due to the presence of the cracks or fissures produced on the outer surface during the process or ripening. The fracture is usually very brittle in nature and the exposed surface appears to be glossy. Now cultivation and collection of acacia. So acacia can be prepared either from the wild sources or from the cultivated plant. So from the wild plants, the gums after collection is freed from the small bits of the bark and other foraging organic matter, dried in the sun directly, which help in the bleaching of the natural gums in the certain extent. And if we talk about the cultivated plants, so we will make some incisions with the help of some instrument, or we can say knife, on the bark, which is subsequently peeled both above and below the incisions to a distance 2 to 3 feet in length and 2 to 3 inch in breadth. Upon oxidations, gum gets solidified in the form of translucent beds. So these translucent beds are known as the tears, and the formations of tears approximately take time 2 to 3 weeks, which is subsequently collected by hand picking, bleaching in the sun, garbling, grading and packing for the preparations of the market. Now the chemical constituent of acacia. So gum arabic is the complex mixtures of glycoproteins and polysaccharide. It is the original source of sugar, arabinose and ribose. Major active constituent is arabin, which is the mixture of calcium, magnesium, potassium salt of arabic acid. It was originally thought that acacia is composed of only 4 chemical constituents known as arabinose, galactose, rhamnose and glucuronic acid. But on subjecting gum acacia to the hydrolysis process with 0.01 normal sulfuric acid, which will remove the combined product of arabinose and galactose, whereas residue consists the product galactose and glucuronic acid. These two products are formed in the ratio of 3:1. So here indicating the 3 parts, 1 part, and these are the individual structures of the sugars. Now the identification test of acacia. First one is the lead acetate test, in which aqueous solutions of acacia will treat with the lead acetate solution, due to which it will give the white precipitations. Another is the borax test, in which we will take aqueous solution of acacia, which will treat with borax, so it will form the stiff translucent mass. Another test is the blue coloration due to enzyme. So in this test we will take the aqueous solution of acacia, which will treat with the benzidine in the alcohol, followed by the addition of few drops of hydrogen peroxide. So it will give the blue color, which indicate the presence of the enzymes. Now another test is to find out the presence of the reducing sugar. To find out this sugar, we will take aqueous solution of acacia, to which we will add dilute hydrochloric acid. Because of it, reducing sugar will be formed, to which few drops of Fehling solutions are added, followed by the boiling, due to which brick red precipitates of cupric oxide will form, which indicate the presence of the reducing sugar. And if we talk about the uses of acacia, it is used as a demulcent, as a pharmaceutical aid for emulsifications, and as a thickening agent. And it's also used as a binding agent for tablets, cough, lozenges. It is used in the process of granulations for the manufacturing of tablets. It is employed as the colloidal stabilizers. It is used extensively in making of candy and other food products, and it is also used in cosmetic as an adhesive for face mask and powder, and to give a smooth feel to lotions. Another drug of this category is now Tragacanth. So it is also known as the gum Tragacanth. If we talk about the biological source, the dried gummy exudations from the Astragalus gummifer belonging to family Leguminaceae. Geographically, it is occur in Iran, Iraq, Armenia, Syria and India. So in biologically we are saying that the which part will be used. So here is the stem. We will take the exudations from the stems of Astragalus gummifer, which belongs to family Leguminaceae. These are the some conditions for the cultivations of Tragacanth. Altitude should be between 1000 to 3000 meters. Soil should be dry, well drained, in a sunny position. The pH of the soil should be 3.2 to 7.8, and to collect the gums from the stems, we will make the incisions with the help of some sharp instrument just at the base of the stem, due to which gums is given out both in the pith and medullary rays. Thus, because the absorptions of water help the gums to swell up, and due to which it exudes through the incisions, the gummy exudates are duly collected and dried rapidly to yield the best quality white product. It is usually takes about a week to collect the gum exudates right from the day the incisions are made, and this process continue thereafter periodically. So if we say about the macroscopic characters, color is white or pale, odor is odorless, taste is tasteless. Regarding shape, it occur in the form of curve or twisted ribbon like flakes marked with the concentric ridges, that is indicative of successive exudations of the solidifications. Fracture is normally short and horny. Size of flakes are usually 25 into 12 into 12 millimeter, and appearance it's occur as a translucent. Now the chemical constituents of Tragacanth. Basically, Tragacanth consists two portions. First one is the tragacanthine and second one is the basorine. The water insoluble portion is the basorine, which constitute about 60 to 70% of the constituents, whereas tragacanthine is the water soluble portions, and it make 30 to 40% of the total phytoconstituent. So these two components, basorine and tragacanthines, are the major active constituent of Tragacanth, and basorine is responsible for the gelatinizing properties of the Tragacanth drug, whereas tragacanthine form colloidal solutions. So the formation of colloidal solution is because of the tragacanthine. Now the chemical test of Tragacanth. We will take aqueous solutions of Tragacanth and treat with the concentrate hydrochloric acid followed by boiling, due to which red color not produced. Second is the ruthenium red solution, aqueous ruthenium red solutions with powdered gum Tragacanth. So particles will not either acquire a pink color or are merely stained lightly. In another test, if we take solution of Tragacanth to which we will add aqueous solution of ferric chloride 10% weight by volume, it will give the deep yellow precipitations, and with lead acetate it gives the precipitations. And in another test, if we treat with the copper oxide and ammonium hydroxide, it will give the precipitations. Now the uses, it is used as a demulcent in the preparations of throat preparations, as an emollient in a cosmetic, for example hand lotions, pharmaceutical aids as a suspending agent for insoluble and heavy powders in the mixtures, as a binding agent for the preparations of tablet and pills, as an emulsifying agent for oils and waxes, in calico printing and in confectionery. It is used in making medicinal jellies like spermicidal jellies, as a stabilizer for making the ice creams and various type of sauce like tomato sauce, mustard sauce. Another drug is the honey, which is commonly known as the madhu. Honey is the saccharine liquid which is prepared from the nectar of the flower by the bees Apis mellifera, belonging to family Apidae. Geographically, it produces certain parts of West Indies, California, Chile, Africa, Australia, New Zealand, and also in India. If we talk about the preparation, so it is prepared from the nectar of the flower, and the compositions of the nectar of flower is basically it is the watery solution of sucrose, which contain about 25% of sucrose and 75% of water. So worker bee suck this nectar by means of the proboscis which is present in the mouth of the bee, and the saliva of the bee contain enzymes invertase. So sucrose along with invertase goes to the honey sac, which is located in the abdomen of the bee, where it hydrolyzed by the invertase enzymes, and it will convert into the invert sugar. So some of the invert sugar is utilized by the bee for its nutrition. Then these bees reaches to the honeycomb and regurgitates the remaining invert sugar and deposit it into a special cells prepared earlier. In the next 3 days, at the temperature of honeycomb, invert sugar is converted into honey, then water is lost by evaporation, and in this process honey contain about 80% of invert sugar and 20% water. When the honey cell is completely filled, the bees close it by a cap of wax. The collection is made by means of a sharp knife which has been previously immersed in a hot water. The wax cap firstly removed and honey is separated by keeping hive comb in a centrifuge. Sometimes honey is separated by means of pressure. By this method, honeycomb breaks and wax finds its way in honey as in impurity. Now the description: color is pale yellow or yellowish brown, odor is pleasant, taste sweet, total as 0.1 to 0.8%, specific rotation +3 to -10 degree. On storage, honey becomes opaque and granules are formed due to crystallizations of the sugar. And if we talk about the solubility pattern of honey, it is soluble in water and insoluble in alcohol and other organic solvents. And now regarding to chemical constituent, mainly it consists mixture of dextrose and levulose, which is approximately 70 to 80%. So it is the major active constituent, and water 14 to 20%, sucrose 1.2 to 4.5%, then dextrine, volatile, pollen grain enzymes, vitamins, amino acid, proteins, coloring matters are the minor component, but dextrose and levulose are the major component. To identify honey, we can use the Feist test, in which we will take 10 ml of honey solution, and to it we will add 5 ml ether. Then we will shake till both the mixture become miscible. After that, we will separate the ether layer and followed by the evaporation in a porcelain dish, to which we will add 1 drop of 1% resorcinol hydrochloric acid. So pure honey will give the red color. If it is not giving the red color, it means it is impure. Now the uses of honey: as a nutritive, demulcent, mild laxative, and important component in the liqueurs and cough mixtures. It is as a sweetening agent. It is used as an antiseptic and bactericidal. This is also used as a vehicle in Ayurvedic and Unani preparations and as a pills recipients. So it is all about the drugs of carbohydrates. Thank you very much.